It's over back.
I didn't even see that. Oh, sure. Okay, thank you. Thanks. Yeah. We want you to come up though to the mic individually. Thank you, just so we can hear everything.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't see it. I didn't see it. Okay. I missed that. That's why I was like,
Yeah.
happy birthday.
Yes. 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 Loving me some men against gun violence right now. Yeah. That's part of our arts and activism logo. See, it's just good work.
Can he stand like this and just cover the
Your t-shirt's got it too, dog. In uniform. I'm supposed to be in uniform.
That's good.
You can stand next to this though. Here, here. That's it.
Did a black market shirt?
I didn't even notice.
I wasn't thankful for
They
that.
just told me. I got one of these.
Okay, whenever you guys are ready.
All right, first thing I need to do is spell my name. Okay, my name is Jabril Israel. Jibryll. Last name Israel. Izsrael. My name's Jabril Israel. I'm terribly honored to be here today as we kick off this new year doing something different. I think the definition of insanity is to keep trying to do the same thing and expecting a different result. 2021, our murder rate hit an all-time high. Was it 197? 194 murders. So whatever we've been doing, we can't do that again. And so this year, at the behest of my brother, Kamal Wells, who's the founder of Men Against Gun Violence, we're taking a different approach, and we're here today to announce a lot of the details of that initiative. Now, before I get too deep into that, one of our biggest priorities today is start the process of dialogue of African American men taking responsibility for the harm that we collectively have inflicted upon our communities. We, the men that are members of Men Against Gun Violence, Ex-Hate, and Arts and Activism, members of 10 Good Men, we believe that if the African American man does not take responsibility for his hand and his culpability and the damage that has been inflicted upon the African American community over the last 60 years, without us claiming responsibility for the harm that and the wrongs that we've done, we don't feel as if we can actually move forward. And so today we want to do our part to take responsibility for the wrongs which we have committed, for the harm that we personally have inflicted upon our community. I know for myself, growing up in West Louisville, Cecil and Broadway, I saw a man get shot in the head when I was 5 years of age by a black man. I had a gun put in my face when I was 8 years of age by a black man. I almost lost my life to gang violence when I was 8 years of age to black men, actually teenagers. But these were males. These were not females. When I listened to African American women from our community describe who has harmed our community the most. All too often, I don't think us African American men realize that from the eyes of our daughters, the people that hurt our communities the most turn out to be Black men. Ask your daughters, who did they see that were the gang members? Who did they see in your community that were the pimps and the drug dealers? Who did they see pulling the triggers on the weapons that have caused so many bodies to fall lifeless in our communities? 99.9% of the time, it's Black men. Now, when I'm in the community with Black men, we don't talk about that a lot. As a matter of fact, we never talk about it. When I meet up with Black men in my community, we never have build sessions on how we can claim responsibility for the harm we've inflicted upon our community. But guess what? Our children grow up in communities where they're horrified by gang violence. They're horrified by the bodies that are dropping in the streets. Well, who's pulling those triggers and killing those babies? I'm talking about the 5-year-old children in our communities. Who do they see killing these kids in our communities? They see older African-American males. And it horrifies them. It terrifies them. As much as we talk about America as the land of prosperity, and we can all realize the American dream, when they come out their doors in the ghettos, they see nothing but depravity and poverty, and they're terrorized by the members of the community. They're scared. Scared of whom? Black men. Yeah, when we see the police, it makes us shiver in our boots, true enough. But the fact of the matter is that there are more Black men shooting Black people in our communities than there are police officers. And so we got to bring a stop to that. And so again, today, one of our main priorities, we want to start the processes of Black men coming forward and saying, hey, I had something to do with the harm that was inflicted upon my community. Not only am I sorry, but I'm here to say today, I will never turn back to that path. And from here forward, I will be a protector of my community, right? All right, so one of the things that we want to do with this initiative, led by Men Against Gun Violence and 10 Good Men, is we want to build a large coalition. We're going to start with West Louisville. But what we have to do is we have to go to every block and we have to stop these problems. So we want to go to every block and we want to find somebody from, we're reaching out to the community right now. We need somebody from every block to step forward and say, hey, I'm going to take leadership on my block to make sure that there's a representative from my block who's in touch with every household on my block and make sure they have, all the children have the counseling that they need. If a household needs food stamps, if people want to find out how to buy a home so they can have some generational wealth, if they need home buyers assistance, if they want to find out how to start a business and they need startup capital, that block leader is going to be responsible for finding out the needs of every household and as well, at least twice a month, reporting back to their city council member. This is the job of our city council members. They don't have the time to go to every household and make sure they know the needs of every household. So we're going to elect block captains of some sort that can do that and then supplement the work that our city council members are supposed to do. And this is also going to enable us to develop portals on every block for recruitment for the purposes of community policing, block watch, and security, which we need to do. So again, we're going to send a letter out to every household in every church. We're asking for 10 good men. On every block in West Louisville, there's at least one man that goes to church, okay? So every church has somewhere on their roster. They got 10 good men. And if you don't, if you're not a church, if you're from a Muslim community, from a mosque or a synagogue, regardless of what it is, we're certainly reaching out to the faith-based community, any organization that's concerned. We want to build a larger coalition, and we want this partnership to develop into something that's citywide. Now, before I finish, let me get this out. A lot of what we're doing is rooted in positive hip hop. Okay, we've got to spark a cultural change. Now, fortunately, members of Arts and Activism, 10 Good Men, Men Against Gun Violence, X-Hate, The last 12 years, we've been doing workshops rooted in positive hip hop. And this past summer, we refined the processes of our work in such a way that we were so effective with the workshops that we had this summer. All of the kids that we worked with between the ages of 6 years old and 14 years of age, we can say unequivocally, none of those children will ever go to the street. There's nothing that you can offer them. There's nothing that you can save, you can sell to them to make them say, hey, I want a life of crime. Or, hey, I want to live a life of debauchery and demoralize myself by just living a promiscuous life which has no value. No, I'm not going to shy away from good study habits. I'm going to build myself up into something that makes me a productive member of society. Every child that went through our workshops, rooted in positive hip hop, we can say unequivocally, they will never go to the street. And so, thankfully, we've been given the support of the city. Shout out to Mayor Fisher, who has promised whatever funding that we need in order to do this thing effectively. We're going to have that funding. Shout out to Ben Johnson in our community center. Say we always have a home to do this sort of programming. And so we'll be in every community center. In March, we're going to be out of U of L with the Mega Center, 400 kids, and we're going to get this thing started in a very robust way. We're inviting everybody to join us at Chef Space on January 17th. We're going to cook dinner, feed everybody. It's open to the public. We can only get about 75 people in there. It's going to be first come, first served. And we're going to roll out and show in detail exactly what this initiative entails. I think with that, I'm going to shut my mouth because I know I talk a lot. Who's going to be next? I think my brother X Garrett from the founder of X Hate is going to fill you guys in a little bit more. Thank you very much.
My name is Denorver D. Garrett. It's DENORVERDEEGARRETT.
Can't speak up a little louder. He's in Falkland Street to protest.
Okay. I want to give an honor to God first, and the owner of Black Market, Jasmine, Kamal. I'm gonna get emotional on this because I'm gonna be real. I was up this morning just going over the names of people that was close to me that has died to gun violence. Then I was thinking about where's the OGs? Where's the OGs that were like my OGs in my life? Even though they was living a lifestyle that they know was wrong, they pushed me to show me my gift. Where's the OGs that will show these young men and young women here in Louisville they gift? Why are we showing them this? I lost a lot of people to this. Two people that probably touched me the most out of the 8 people that I have lost to this was my little cousin, Amber Robinson, age 14, over this. Orlando Gilbert, age 24, my best friend, over this. But the reason why that one hit so hard, right? Because his daughter is the same age as my daughter. And what kept me going to step away from this was my daughter. Where's our morals? It was a situation right after when my friend Orlando Gilbert was murdered. His nephew was murdered over his actions. Hold on, wait. How old was his nephew? Jarius Gilbert Jr., 13. Drive-by shooting on a bike, riding home in Hamilton, Ohio. So with these men and women behind me, we are coming together. Just like the OGs in my life showed me my gift, we are coming together to show our queens and our kings they gifts. and tell them that they don't got to get behind this, but they can get behind us, and we can lead them to freedom.
My name is LeBron C. It's LeBron, last name Seay. Representing 10 Good Men. And I'd like to say Happy New Year. It's a new year. And I believe we're ready to start doing things a new way. And I'm definitely glad to be a part of this this effort and this collaboration. And I'm glad that my good friend D. Garrett went right before me and asked a question that he asked. Because he asked, where are the OGs? The OGs is ready to stand up. And I think I'm one of the top OGs in the city. And I'm ready to do it. Anybody that knows me knows it. And I'm ready to call on all of my other top OGs that I know that I don't have to call the names, but I'm asking all the real top OGs to step up and tell all your sons and all your nephews and cousins to stop killing each other, man. Louisville's too small. We all family. I don't care if you're from Newburgh. I don't care if you're from Park Hill. I don't care if you're from Shepherd Square. I don't care if you're from J-Town, St. Matthews, whatever. Tell them to stop, man. I got too many friends that have died this year. I got too many friends whose sons done died this year. Didn't get to live their lives out. Had prominent lives. And I think you can see the people standing behind me and around in this crowd that you can't see. Man, we don't ask too many favors, but we do a lot. And don't ask a lot. But it's time to start asking. From the streets to the mayor's office, all you prominent preachers, I know all of y'all, and y'all know me. And y'all getting ready to know us. We not playing. Right now, we dealing with a situation where I'm trying to get a 13-year-old who has a prominent career in the rap game that has been shot 3 times since last June. 13 years old. I'm gonna say it again. A 13-year-old, we getting ready to get him out of the city because I want him to live. Because cats he was dealing with ain't here no more. This ain't no game. Mayor Fisher, y'all got the money. Prominent mega church preachers. I know all of y'all. Y'all got the power of y'all's congregations. Step outside them walls, man, like we doing. I hope y'all understand what we talking about. We coming together. It was individualistic in the past. This is a new day. We coming together, period. It's not a black or white thing. It's a us. It's a people. It's a human thing, y'all. I'm tired of seeing these kids die. I'm tired of seeing all these people. I'm tired of hearing sirens. We not playing. Put these guns down. Put these guns down, man. And if y'all don't know what's on these streets, we got military arms on these streets, y'all. It's not 22s. It's not 38s. We got 45s, magnums, different color tips on the bullets. 50, 100 round drums, extended clips, designer extended clips. Come on, y'all, we not playing. And we calling on everybody from the hood to the mayor's office to corporate America. Put your money where your mouth is and let's make a difference.
Yes.
My name is Shamika Parrish Wright, SHAMEKA PARRISH-Wright, WRIGHT. Today, I am a candidate for Louisville Mayor this year, 2022.
Yes, Shamika for mayor.
But before I was a candidate, I lived right around the corner from here, right at 24th and Jefferson. My kids ran these streets. I saw the violence that was described by these amazing black men. I saw people getting social services right next door, right across the street. And now I see that a lot of those community centers are closed down. We have taken money out of the community that the community needs. And that's why it is my honor to stand here with Kamal, with Jabril, with LeBron, and with Dee, as they are black men who want to take charge and want to do something about the violence we see. Their initiative is part of what I've been pushing with my campaign to talk about how we deal with this violence directly, not doing more studies and more reports. We know where the money needs to go. We need to put the money where it's needed most. I have been asking since after I left here, I lived out in Newburgh, and then I moved on 37th and Dorhoffner, where I had 3 of my kids. And I've been asking for mobile trauma response units, community centers that are 24 hours, ways that are seasoned and young people can be the first line of protection in our community, but they have to be funded. They have to be supported. We know where the money needs to be put. And it's not just in the West End that it's happening. Newburgh, the South End, our immigrant children are dealing with the same violence that we're talking about. But we first have to talk about that our country is violent, that our police are violent, and that when they only show up with guns and arrest and shoot people, what does that tell the young people? I need a gun to get the power to have control. Our police have to take ownership in part of the violence that we're seeing, and nobody wants to talk about that. Our police are taking guns off the street, but people are miseducated on whether they can carry a gun or not. A lot of the guns that are taken are from people who are carrying them for safety. People want to be responsible gun owners. Someone shot out my window when I lived at Hemlock and Southern, a young black male who said, "Shamika, I'm sorry, they were trying to rob me and I shot out your window." He came to me with money to replace my window. These are the youth that you don't hear about when you see the news stories about the violence that's happening. They're trying to protect themselves. They feel like they have no way out, and so they carry guns to do that. We are not doing the best job in educating, and we cannot treat gun violence like we did abstinence in schools. It's happening because we are in a gun-toting state. We have laws that say one thing, but are different for black, brown, and poor white children and young people and young adults who are impacted by these gun laws, who don't know that if they get in a car and somebody has a gun, then they all can be charged with that same gun. And later in life, when they're trying to thrive at 30 and 40 years old, they can't own a gun legally because they were marked when they were younger. We have a lot of issues that we need to deal with. And I'm glad to hear that our mayor says that he's going to support these initiatives. I want to see it happen. That's why I'm here today. I'm using every ounce of this campaign to push for these issues long before I get into office, because there are things that can be done right now. I'm not here to give you more smoke in the ears. I'm not here to do that. I'm here to be a part of change, just like these men that are standing here. And these men are not new. They didn't come up with this just last year when the civil unrest was happening. They have always pushed for more positive hip hop, more positive issues and initiatives that impact our young people. They just haven't been heard. And as mayor, I want to bring those voices to the table. But right now, I'm a candidate, and I'm here to tell you that we all need to get behind these men, and we all need to do our part in those streets. Every day it matters. Every day our young people are dying. And I love that Dee showed that when these color rags are people who are taking pride in their communities and their neighborhoods, we need to give them more ways to take pride in community, that they don't have to depend on a rag to determine who they are. Because that's what's happening. When the system neglects people, people resort to their own measures. And that is what has taken control. We have a gang problem here because we have neglected the very communities that these gangs are in. Yep. Thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Kamal Wells, Kamal Wells, Wells. I'm the founder of Men Against Gun Violence. First of all, I want to thank Jasmine Harris, my wife, for allowing us to use this beautiful space, Black Market.
Thank you, Jasmine.
And I want to thank my whole panel, just my team.
That's right.
It's my guys. I want to thank everybody that came out tonight and today. And the reason being is because it shows that it's not just me. It's not just me that care about these kids. It's not just me. You know, boy, we have 3 beautiful kids, 2 girls and 1 boy. You know, and I don't know what I would do. And I know she would freak out, but I don't know what I would do if something happened to one of them. You know, so, and I got Ray. Anybody knows me know I have a big family, extremely large family here in the city of Louisville. And I have a lot of nieces and nephews. I have a lot of little cousins, some that are grown now, but you know, I have an extremely large family. I've always been family oriented. I got that from my auntie, but I've been real family oriented my whole life. And not just with my immediate size family, but I have extended family. And so therefore my need to protect, okay, to protect my family, is that the same of you or you or you? And to constantly hear the sirens, to constantly see the ambulances, to constantly hear the police, to constantly see a funeral procession, you know, that lets you know there's too much death, too much murder going on, and it's somebody hurting. It's somebody hurting, and I don't want to be a part of the problem anymore. I want to be part of the solution. And it's too easy to act off of impulse. It's too easy to act off of rage or temporary, just being angry. We got to start operating and acting out of love. You know, a lot of us met, especially the 502 live streamers and some of the people here during the protests over Breonna Taylor, the killing of her. And it's a thing, it didn't stop just because the protest is over. Okay, it doesn't stop there. We have to continue because there's still other problems going on within our city that are affecting the lives of everybody. Because it's not just like this happens here and it doesn't affect me, it does. It happens over here, so it doesn't affect me, it does. It doesn't matter if you're in the East End, the West End, out, like you said, like LeBron said, out Shabley, out Newburgh, out Butchell, J-Town. It doesn't matter where it's at. It all affects us somehow. So, like I initially said, on September 22nd, when Tyree Smith was shot down on the bus stop on his way to school, I personally wanted 50 men to come out of your homes in the morning, to be on the bus stops in the morning, and make sure your kids get on the bus stop safely. I got 15. And this was in September. And as Jabril said on our first day out there, we're watching kids walking out of the dark spaces, through alleys, cutting to go to the bus stop by themselves. The day after this young man was shot and killed. So how does that impact the children when they know that their peer just got shot down and their father won't even walk them to the bus stop to make sure that they get on the bus safe the next morning? You know, we trying to stop that. We come together, we're trying to stop that. I've reached out. Anybody that knows me knows that I've been living in Texas for the last almost 7 years. Working in the oil field. I personally reached out to several of my previous employers in the oil field, different companies, and trying to start a program to where I can train these kids, these young adults, to get certified in elevated height confined space rescue, to be certified and trained in H2S monitoring and safety. These are big things. And upon the completion of that, have an opportunity to be employed by some of the top oil industry employers. You know, these are things, and allow them an opportunity to see something and experience life in a different arena than what's offered here. You know, I want to see the kids succeed. I want to see them live. And I want to thank you all again for coming out. I want to thank Black Market again. And I want to thank all gentlemen and Shamika for being here, because like I said, we need help. We need men still to step up, but we need support as well. Mayor Fisher, I'm asking upon you to, you know, keep your word. You offer it in front of the cameras. I'm asking you to stand on it in front of the cameras. Okay? Thank you. I just wanted to step in and say a couple of quick things, a couple of quick points. The circumstances that we're dealing with, which is one of the main reasons we came together like this, is because we talked about a situation where we have so many deaths happening in the West End and surrounding areas. But these situations wouldn't happen in Hurstbourne or J-Town or Fern Creek, Valley Station, Butcher. You wouldn't have 200 deaths out there. And you know why? Because the community out there wouldn't stand for it. The community out there will not stand for it. You're not going to go out there and do that. So I'm saying that to say is we saw a lot of people in the West End not standing up. And that's one of the main problems. People starting to come out the houses. That's what we're ready to bring back. We're ready to bring back the community, where neighbors talk to each other, where the kids got somebody to look up to besides just the dope dealers and the gangbangers. You know, we coming outside the doors. Ain't no, you know, and all the pastors. It doesn't say, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. I'm just saying. Come out here. And then on this piece right here, as far as the funding goes, we don't need the funding. We don't. The people we deal with are fully capable of distributing funding to where we need to, because we know exactly what we have. We have the initiatives, we have the capability, the expertise, and the power, resources, and everything. We just need funding. We don't need it to be funneled through any of the original and same old channels that you flow the money through, that you give millions of dollars to, and I don't need to call names, because we need them too. We need y'all too. Y'all know who we're talking about. I just got to keep it real. So the funding we need is pennies to what you give out. And we know exactly what to do with the funding. So can we please obtain the funding for the initiatives that we have put forth? And again, January the 17th, Chef Space, please come out. We're inviting all the pastors, all corporate community. If we can only fit 75, we're going to make y'all fit. We're going to make sure we got front row seat for all the ones that really want to help. So we want to see who really wants to help y'all. We're going to feed you. That's right. And we're going to feed you good food. We don't do finger food. If you ask about the feast, it speaks for itself. So, we just coming together. I'm glad this collaboration happened, and we just need the support of the community, everybody, black, white. It's not genderfied. It's not anything. This is a human situation. All lives matter. Let's live. Let's live. Any information, please come down to Black Market. Black Market. This is one of the headquarters, you all. If you want to help, leave your numbers, because I don't know if do we have a number? 2313 West Market Street on the corner. You can't miss it, y'all.
So critical to everything that we're doing. So critical to everything that we're doing is we're taking responsibility.
That's right.
We're taking responsibility.
That's right.
I don't care who was involved on the outside, but on the inside, I know what part I played in breaking Black women's hearts in the ghetto. I know what part I played in distributing poison to my community. I know what part I played in terrorizing and beating up little kids on the bus stop, because I was beat up too. We're taking responsibility for what we're doing, and we're taking initiative to be the solution. And we're asking from 10 good men from every church, every faith-based community, particularly in West Louisville. We're asking from one member from every block to step forward and say, hey, I'm willing to be a leader on my block and do the work necessary to organize my block and make sure every household on my block has the resources they need to move forward and be safe. Hallelujah. We appreciate everybody's time. We'll see you 2 weeks from now, Chef Space. 2 weeks from now, Chef Space. That's 18th and Muhammad Ali, 7 p.m. Dinner open to the public. Again, first come, first serve. And we'll have this plan in detail written out, an email version, a digital version for anybody to take with them. Main point of that dinner is so everybody can see in closer detail exactly what we plan to do over this next year, over the next 3 years in conjunction with the city, with the lovely Shamika Parish Rights leadership. Remember, Shamika for mayor. If Shamika gets in office, then this never stops. If Shamika gets in office, we never stop saving our babies. Like I said, every child that was in our program, 6 years to 14 years of age, and never go to the street. That'll never change for Louisville, Kentucky. We get Shamika in office.
We do need to say that more than half of the people even in this room has dealt with trauma, violence, sexual abuse, sexual assault. The way that we survive that is, and including myself, is through successful transitions, small successful transitions with community partnerships, with our faith community, with people stepping up and doing their part. We can't just write a plan and not apply the action steps that it takes to get it done. We have more and more children who are dealing with trauma, dealing with impacted by violence and poverty. We all must do our part. I just wanted to add that.
I just want to say one thing. It was a young man that hit me up. And he said, D, I want to get out the game. He got caught up, had a basketball scholarship, and just caught a robbery charge. Where's the OGs at? We keep showing these kids this. What if he would have had OGs like the man and the woman standing behind me to show him that they gifts will take him away from this? Now he's facing an ag robbery charge and he had a full ride scholarship. That was his way out. But he didn't have the OGs to step in and tell him this is not this ain't the way to go. This is not the way to go. Everybody that I know that rep this in my circle, they dead or in prison or been shot. By the grace of God, he covered me. This is why I am able to pursue my gift. And I graduated college, right? You can turn away, chase your gift. Don't be a follower. Don't do what everybody else is doing.
For any upcoming events that we would be part of, anything, any information that needs to be put out, anybody need our assistance in anything, any schools that need our assistance at the schools. We have an open platform on Facebook. Look under Men Against Gun Violence. You can add a post. You can contact us directly, or if you want to be more discreet about it than that, I mean, you can come to Black Market. Again, the address is 2313 West Market. Talk to Missy or Jasmine, and they'll be happy to help you get your issue heard. And, because a lot of people don't like to, especially in certain communities, don't want to deal with calling 911 when they have an issue. A lot of kids are being bullied, and they don't want to have to go and talk to the police or the teachers. That they want somebody else to mediate the situation, to be that middle person, and we can be that. Because I don't have a problem stepping up and talking to the counselor for your kid, to talk to the principal, to talk to whoever, to make sure that they don't have to worry about getting shot down in the parking lot or in the bus stop or whatever. I don't have a problem with that. I'll be that guy. I'll be that guy on the front line for your kids.
Right.
But I need your fathers fathers, the uncles, the big cousins, the little big nephews. I need y'all to step up and be out there for your people as well. Thank you.
Questions?
Anybody got questions?
Yeah, Mr. Bilal, could you give us kind of a flavor and a taste of what you hope the people that are part of this new organization or to protect kids at the bus stop, what you want them to do? Just an idea.
Okay, as you can see around the store right now, I have an array of different men against gun violence apparel. I have T-shirts, we have vests, and we have hoodies for different climates, different weather. Basic contact, get in touch with me or one of the brothers of the panel. And what we'll do is let me know what area you are interested in, as far as where your kids are going to school at, what bus stops you are closer to you. Because we need all the areas protected. We need our kids protected. So if you're comfortable in the Russell neighborhood, where I live at, then yeah, we can put you in the bus stop in the Russell neighborhood. If we need to be over in the Portland area, we got you. In Park Hill area, we got you. Just let me know what area, and we can assign you to a district on area on paper, so we know who's working where. Get you out there, and just protect our kids.
And to kind of piggyback off that. Oh, and to kind of piggyback off that, if we have the bodies, we'll have a map of trouble spots, in areas that we know that where there's danger, and we can, like you said, we can coordinate and put the people in the correct manner and the spots. So.
I want to add that Russell community, since the shooting of Tyree Smith, Jackie Floyd, Sharif Vaughn, Hope Bus, and other folks have gotten together, and they've been they moved that bus stop initially, but they've been getting together in the mornings and still doing that support. So there are people who are still working on that. Right. Another thing too is we're trying to push for a light up the alleyways for the communities that want them, where there'll be solar powered motion sensor lights to start, because a lot of crime happens where things are dark, and so people don't want to do drug deals under spotlights, and so we want an initiative to light up the alleyways where people want them. So the community has to have a buy-in, because that means when someone drives through or does something in that alleyway, it will light up, and it might affect their house, the lighting in their homes. But we want to make sure that there's other options for people. But I just wanted to lift up Jackie Floyd, the Russell community, Sharif Vaughn, Hope Bus, and all of those folks who are continuing to do the bus stop watches.
And also shout out to another organization that has promised to help us out, the Office of Safe and Healthy Neighborhoods. Kenny Boyd, my man.
Shout out to all the interrupters.
Yes,
That's
sir.
going to be a really amazing project. Really
The
excited
interrupters is definitely ready to be an impact in West Louisville and beyond.
Any other questions? Good? Thank you all so much for
Thank
coming.
you.
Man, we appreciate it.
Yes. You're all amazing. Wow. Thank everybody that came out, each and everybody.
Thank you, guys. I'm gonna give you one. So we have- Thank you. Guys, thanks so much for joining us today. We appreciate you. Share the live, share the live, share the live. Last one.